Right, so today's planting, which is rapidly turning into tonight's planting, because I found a worm lizard while I was digging the holes and I had to go and show everyone, because I am a grown-up. But anyway, this is going to be going in the same area where I recently planted Diospyros digina, the Jackalberry Camellia africana, which is the sausage fruit, and Oncobus spinosa, which is the fried eggplant or snuffbox tree, which should hopefully start to form a little multi-layered thin bit of forest to start shading the sunny side edge of a mango and guava thicket, which I really don't want to be as exposed as it is because I've started planting some more sensitive fruit trees in underneath those. So we're going to be adding another layer to that, so we're going to be going back a couple of meters and in between to create a sort of diagonal effect, which hopefully will start to look natural as these trees mature and branch and turn into more adult shapes. So this is going to be starting with Sclerocarya, which is the Marula, which is a fantastic tree which is in the same family as mangoes and cashews, so it's the Anacardiaceae. I do feel like we do have a plant called wild mango and the fruit looks very similar to the fruit of the Marula when it's on the tree. It doesn't taste very similar at all, and it's not actually that pleasant to taste on the African mango, which is actually a type of legume. It tastes like a legume despite being fleshy and sweet. Whereas the Marula does have a wonderful sweet tart taste, which I do think is much more comparable to a mango, so I don't understand why it didn't get the name wild mango, but there we go. It has a perfectly good name, and it's usually marketed under that, which is unusual because most African trees don't tend to be marketed primarily under their local names. But this is going to be getting our standard companion plants of a large piece of Dracaena fragrans and a couple of pieces of Calico Fetchingkoi, as well as a piece of Alocameroni, which should between them form a succulent ground cover with a little bit of sort of chemical distance from the Sclerocarya to protect it from insect pests, and a nice little prickly barrier from the aloe, and then a shade plant and marker from the Dracaena. This will also hopefully end up being big enough to shade the Jackalberry that I planted a while ago, just to make sure it is encouraged to grow upwards, because Jackalberries can end up quite shrubby if they're in full sun, so you do want them sheltered if you want them to reach their full potential and be sort of big and producing lots of fruit, and or potentially being coppiced for timber, because it is a very good timber that they produce as well. Our second tree is actually also going to be a Jackalberry, so this is Diospyros myspiliformis. Now, part of the reason for planting two in the same general area is that they do tend to have male and female on separate trees. I do think they should hopefully be able to cross-pollinate with things like the Philothixipotle and the Persimmon that I've got elsewhere in the garden, because those are both Diospyros as well, but just to be on the safe side, because I do want fruit from this, because it is supposed to be quite a good fruit, even if it's not as desirable as either of those. I do want to have males and females close by so we can actually, get fruit, get seeds, make the wildlife happy, make me happy. This is going to be getting the same companion plants again. This is actually going in a slightly more sheltered spot because there is a self-seeded guava tree I've been chasing up quite near here. The long-term thought with most self-seeded guava trees is to eventually prune them out, but this is actually one that produces quite a nice, quite large white-fleshed fruit, so it might end up staying here, but we'll see. And that should be everything for today, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it, and if you haven't enjoyed it, thank you for watching anyway. Please tune in again tomorrow because we'll be planting something different. I do have a suspect lined up, but I'm not sure of it'll that, but we'll see.